blank.
GSTL. Kaboom, baby!
Hey guys, welcome back to the GSTL. I am Wolf, with me is Kaldor, and so far, you know, we had a pretty quick game with Finale, I think, taking a win. He probably didn't expect to get so early like that. That was a really interesting attack he hit with, and there was no preparation.
Archon Zealot, man, they completely crushed the forces of Ragnarok. He didn't stand a chance there.
Yeah.
At first it looked really awkward, blinking right into these spine crawlers. There were so many of them.
Yeah.
And most Proto players get nightmares of spine crawlers just poking at them while they try to break the defense of the Zerg before he has his Great Aspire up.
Yeah.
But he did it, and he did very well.
Yeah, it was really impressive just to have him like break through like that. It was almost as if he blinked in and just, I mean, with the Stalkers blinking forward like that, it wouldn't even normally make sense, but he just blinked in, and then he was like, wait a minute. I have a really heavily upgraded Force here. He doesn't have Brood Lords I can break through.
And today, guys, you can see the interview in behind us, but today we don't have a translator in the studio, so we're skipping the interview.
Yeah,
we can basically do a little bit of role play if you want. So what do you think about the last game, Coach Lee?
Well, you know, I didn't really expect him to win so easily, but we have a player prepared for the next match.
Okay, so I have to play Coach Choi, I guess. Yeah, I really feel that we can win today. We will definitely do our best in order to take these matches, and of course for the fans. No, guys, of course.
We want to show really good matches for the fans.
That is so surprising, us too.
Oh, wow, really?
Look at that.
You know, I would actually, if I were a GSTL coach that was interviewed, I would go up and I would say, well, you know, actually, I really personally feel like I just want it to be over as soon as possible. We win 5-0, and then it doesn't matter how, we will cannon rush them 5 times.
That would be quite surprising.
Actually, that might be good for the fans. They would go pretty crazy about that.
But to be fair, I mean, we're joking about this, but the last few days and the last 20 matches, we had actually really interesting interviews if you think about it, especially Hirai always bantering a little bit with the other coach. And that, when you have Choya, for example, being there, being interviewed, always really sincere.
I will note that if you look behind us, you can actually see today, you know, Coach Lee is always a step ahead when it comes to fashion. He was wearing the sweater vest that we were wearing on Code A until recently. Now he's wearing the suit. He's taken it like a step beyond this. So probably next season of Code A, I bet we'll wear blazers with ties.
I can actually tell you right now that I will do the best to not wear that stuff again that we're wearing right now.
But yeah, I think we might be wearing blazers and ties. I think Coach Lee's a step ahead of us.
I don't want to look like a Harry Potter character anymore.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you look like Draco Malfoy, that's fine. I'm Kaldemort in a weird sweater. That doesn't really work all that well.
We can take this time to talk about how annoying it is that when you're on an airplane that's going internationally, you have to fill out those arrival cards. Yeah. Seriously, that's so annoying. But you don't have a pen with you, you're like, you just watch everyone around you and you're like, why do I ask the guy next to me? I don't even know him if I can borrow his pen.
Exactly.
Like, this is kind of uncomfortable. And if you're going somewhere you've never been before, you might be going to like China, and you don't speak Chinese, and you're like, I don't even, is he Chinese? Is he Korean? Should I speak Korean to him? That's really awkward. I don't know. Like,
you know, with those arrival cards, also what really gets me going, they never ever look at them.
Yeah.
Usually they hand it back, and then you're fine. And then I go to Macau. Okay, I'm in Hong Kong. I go to Macau. This is a 1-hour trip with a speedboat. I'm like, well, I actually have to go through immigration for Macau. I'm like, are you guys serious? You have your own currency? What's going on here? So I'm like, I don't need that arrival card. I'm coming from Hong Kong. I have everything in my passport. So I wait for half an hour, and then there at the front of the line, he's like, where's your arrival card? I'm like, what? My arrival card? Well, I don't have it. I just came from Hong Kong. There are my stamps and everything is in there. I need your arrival card. So I have to go all the way to the back, get an arrival card, fill it out,
back in line.
Go back in line, wait another 20 minutes, be the same guy, doesn't even look at the thing, puts it back,
that's the thing.
Lets me go, and I'm
all
like,
these
what?
arrival cards, especially the duty thing where you sign up, oh, I didn't bring all these things or whatever. You get that. That is so annoying. You have to type it. It's like, what if it's like, I've typed where I live and where my hotel is. Why is this even important? And you see the guy, he doesn't even look at it. He like puts it in a pile. And here's what happens. Either they just take these and burn them somewhere, or there's some guy somewhere who sits in a room and reads every one of these cards, all the annoying handwriting, and checks every person's passport, make sure the passport number is correct. Do you have to type out your passport number? Why do you have to do that? Is he actually going to look up every single person's passport and read this handwriting and be like,
it's the same thing with the address. I'm like, I have no idea where that hotel is. I don't even know the name of the hotel.
I'm just traveling. I don't have time to look up hotel addresses on my plane. I don't even have Wi-Fi.
You go to Australia, for example, you have no clue where you're living at because, like, well, guys, I'm just checking into the next hostel that I find. I don't have an idea. I'm like, yeah, but sir, you have to put down an address. I don't have an address. So it's like always the same thing. It's really, really annoying.
By the way, this is really interesting. We have the semifinals and final schedule, so you guys can see exactly when and, well, you know where already, but what time on what day you will have IPL 5. Obviously, first day, and I'm just looking at this right now. The second day, it's IPL 5 and then the round of 4. Then Saturday starts off with IPL 5, then you have the World Championship Day 1. Then the GSL Finals, and then to finish things off, you've got IPL, then the World Championship goes up, and then IPL's Finals right afterwards. So that was really, really weird to see me like look at and describe while I was looking at your screen, which has the information. But
if you look at it, it's actually fine, because you still look cross. If I do that, that's a little bit awkward, because I look away from you.
Yeah, that is really weird.
They should put it on this one, I guess.
I guess, maybe. Well, then I'll have the same problem. It should be on both.
Yeah, but then it's your problem. Then it's your problem, you know?
Well, I guess so. But it should be on both, and we both just look at each other like... It looks like we're looking at each other just slightly to the side, and we're actually looking at the screen, yeah.
By the way, we can talk a little bit about the next game, because we already know that Polt is playing, and we know the map. It's going to be Abyssal City. And yeah, we just talked to Polt a little bit. He's going, of course, pretty soon also to IPL. He's going to fly there, and he has to fly with United. I am not a huge United fan.
Yeah, well...
I had to fly with that airline once. I hope it never happens again.
Well...
I'm a huge fan of Finnair, of Korean Air, really good airlines.
East Air China, actually, I enjoyed it. It was good. Except the one time I got delayed for
twice?
8 hours. Listen up. Okay, I missed the first day of BWC because of this, and they said it was because of weather, but I personally asked people in China, and when I got the plane, there was not even a cloud in the sky. That was a bad excuse for your problem that you had with the plane, but I don't, you know, if there was actually a problem with the plane and there's some sort of excuse, at least we took a safe flight, it didn't die, there was no plane crash or any accidents, but I was frustrated and I missed the first day of BWC.
Here we have now the second game of GSTL, TSL vs MVP. That match, Wolf, you're not gonna miss?
No, of course not.
That was really weird to phrase them like this. Anyways, it's time for Polt, it's time for finale. Brothers player with an early win in this team match, and now it's time for Polt, it's time for the captain. He wants to equal the score, equalize it, and let's see if he's able to do it on Abyssal City. GSTL with Polt up against finale, brought to you by Colorful.
Feed my motor, burning tire.
On the screen to the right side of the map in red, we have the Terran player for Team TSL. There are two of them, but this is...
TSL, Polt!
Polt, the captain. His team expects him actually to get 4 kills. That's what they're hoping for, they said.
We talked a bit to the coach, and it was so funny. I asked Polt, so Polt, are you gonna all kill? And it was like, no, that is way too tough. And the coach's like, no, he's gonna get 4 kills. I'm like, hey, that's a little bit awkward, but well.
Yeah, that's really weird, but okay.
His opponent starting to the right side of the map with 1 win already in this team match. He's a Protoss, and he is...
MVP, Knalle!
If he really wants to live up to his name, he's going to have to get the all kills so that he can have that finale. I really feel the Razor Jacket suits him. Looks good.
It actually looks a little bit better on Hero, I have to say. That was the first time when I saw the new Razor Jacket Heroes playing in the individual league. It looked really, really good. I actually immediately messaged Razor. I'm like, guys, your new jackets are really awesome. I like those.
And then you also included your address at the bottom.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't really do that. They are located in Singapore, and if they send me like a large or like an XL version, it's probably still too small because of the Asian sizes.
Because of the Asians.
Man!
Just when you said that, I don't know why. It's too small for me because of the Asians.
I didn't say it like that.
I don't know why you didn't say it like that, but for some reason.
I had this once, you know. I went shopping with Naniwan with Jinro. This is a while ago. and we just looked for jackets. I feel it was last winter, and I found this awesome leather jacket. Usually I'm not a huge fan of leather jackets, but I talked to Nani one. I'm like, yeah, actually I always thought about buying one of these, and he's like, yeah, just try it out. So I put it on, and it looked awesome. Okay, I looked like such a baller. It was amazing. I look in the mirror and like, oh my god, this is the jacket. It has my name written all over it. Like, I looked like the badass. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this. So I turn around to the lady. I'm like, okay, could I please have this one size larger? And she looks at me and she's like, what? You want that even? No, that doesn't work. That is already the largest size that we have. And I'm like, you can't be serious. So that's when I realized that I will have a hard time buying clothes in Korea.
Was the store run by Asians?
I hate you. I really hate you, Will.
By the way,
unbelievable.
When you do this 2-probe in 2 gases build, it's appropriate to talk about stories of Naniwa because he does this build often. But it's also appropriate to mention that you're trying to get a slightly faster Nexus, and this engineering bay serves to block just that. Luckily for him, he did get the Zealot out. If you don't make the Zealot, imagine the Stalker coming out just now and him being able to take that Nexus. That would have taken forever. As it is, he's denied still about 200 minerals. They're just kind of wasted in space.
Yeah, and now we have this expansion building for Finale, whereas Polt is adding 2 additional barracks to add a bit of production so that he can withstand any kind of gate repair. Wants to get his production going. Of course, also add the add-ons. That's why we have now a double refinery for him and get the tech just started. We'll find out if Polt is trying to play a little bit upgrade heavy here with double engineering bay, or if he's actually just going straight into factory and starport.
Oh wow,
look at that. I didn't expect this.
No, neither did I. Not on a map that's so hard to defend your 3rd Nexus on.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what Polt's going to go check for. He's going to see this with his SCV. There's actually the Stalker's coming down to try to deny, but he's too late.
Yeah, the SCV sees the 3rd base. No. That's going to be really interesting now, because Polt seeing this 3rd base must think, okay, am I going to just attack him now? And that seems to be his plan, because he adds 2 additional barracks immediately. He wants to get a huge force so that he can pressure this 3rd and take it down.
This is pretty scary for Finale, and he knows that at this moment. He still made the Robo, though, which is really interesting. I would have thought he was going to try to go more gateway heavy to try to hold. I didn't expect necessarily parting style, where you go into 8 gateways from here and put pressure on. Keep your opponent not only off your 3rd, but also a little bit contained and pressured, make him make some bunkers, but this situation is going to be a stressful one for the next few moments for Finale. He's going to have to just hunker down and hold on to this.
Stim is now on his way, and he's heading straight into the Marauder production, so do you think that he can actually hold this?
It's going to be really difficult. He's going to need really good force shields, but the thing is, the area is so wide down there.
Yeah.
Force shields make it pretty tough. I mean, even with force shields, it's pretty tough to hold.
There won't be any medivacs, so we don't see a factory, we don't see a starport. He will attack with only the ground forces, with the bio forces. But still, especially with the Stim timing, if he waits for Stim, might even complete combat shield and then moves in. I'm not quite sure if Finale is really ready for this attack. This is going to be so interesting to see if this works.
He's actually making a Forge and a Twilight Council too. Ah, okay. There is actually on this map. There's one place. Oh no, okay. I was like freaking out. I was like, am I crazy? I saw the rocks at the ramp at the natural, and I was like, oh, there's a little place in the 3rd who has that too, so he can't defend. No. I was right. There's nothing there. It's gonna be tough. I freaked out there for a second. I was like, do I not know this map?
You know, there's combat shield now, and look at the army supply. Polt is gearing up. 33 army supply against 12. And yeah, he's not teching. He's not getting a factory, he's not getting a starport. He starts to move out with his units. Stim is nearly completed. Combat shield will be done, as well as concussive shells. Finale?
He's making 2 cannons, but
what are 2 cannons gonna do?
They're going to slow him down slightly. That's what he's hoping for, I suppose. Yeah. They're going to be finished maybe just in time.
Maybe for a second. With Stim, this is a lot of army supply. This is now 53 army supply against 22.
I don't think he can hold.
It's going to be tough. That's for sure.
Perfect force shields. The Immortal is coming down.
The Colossus won't be ready. He's building it now. Also, Charge is not done yet. This is such a tough spot for Finale to be in. If he holds this, it's going to be epic for him. But if he loses this...
Yeah,
force fields.
I don't like the idea to try to come around this side because...
Yeah, the ramp gives Finale something to work
and
with.
the Colossi are coming out, so is his charge upgrade +1. If Polt actually just... I find this angle of attack strange. He should have gone to the third base. Even though the cannons were there, that's where he wants to engage, not here.
That's a lot of force fields that you need, but he has the sentries. And here comes the army. The Colossus is ready.
Even with the Colossus here, though, this army is so small.
Very cautious with the stim here. I like it. Polt not overextending. He knows that he doesn't have any medivacs here.
And now he stems, running, spreading his units. The Stalkers are cancelled.
A great concave here for Polt, and even though there is one Colossus, this is a lot of DPS for the TSL Terran player.
Yep, not a lot of force energy left after using those force fields from earlier. That may have been his plan.
And Polt just annihilates the second base and now moves right into the third. There are 2 cannons. That's all that Finale has to defend this base, and it does not really look like the Protoss player can do anything about this army.
No, definitely not. The base is down, and maybe 1 out of 4 here of the games that TSL coach expects out of Polt has already been won for him. The probes are now cornered. They are going to be chased down and killed. He could actually leave like 5 Marines to do that job and send the rest of the army, but it looks like Finale may want to try to corner him. He walked up with his units for a second, and he was like, well, this just isn't big enough of an army.
It's still 80 army supply against 38, and Polt has the starport, so as soon as it's equipped with a reactor, he can go for the double medivac production. He even adds the third base to the top right. The story of this game is Polt identifying early on that Finale tries to be greedy.
Yeah. Because Polt's units are so low on hit points, he decides to go home and play the later game here rather than trying to risk it and losing his entire army, then opening up a counterattack for Finale. Finale is trying to go for that counterattack now. He knows that the game is already lost economy-wise. There's no way for him to recover there, so he's getting another Colossus and hoping for +2 to maybe finish so he can make a difference here. The forward pylon is also going to allow him to reinforce, but he's attacking into an opponent that has twice the army supply and the defender's advantage of the rally.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's even going in for the flank, starts to target those 2 Colossi, darts in with his fire forces. The force fields are delaying the inevitable, but these 2 Colossi don't stand a chance, and the same is true for MVP Finale.
He's got nothing left. GG.
GG indeed. Polt takes the game. That was
pretty straightforward, you know, a risky third that gets spotted. Then he didn't add gateways to defend, he added all his tech. He was playing super risky.
Finale is looking at this as like, okay, well, it was worth a shot, but as soon as he scouted, Finale knew that there was trouble heading his way.
He has changed ID to MVP risk. I wonder how he gambles, man. Keep that guy off the poker tables.
So Polt now heading into the next game, and it's time for MVP to reveal their player.
Yeah,
Polt did a really great job against Finale here, and Polt is a tough opponent to beat.
You know, you see just a glimpse of the MVP coach giving a nod there, showing that he knows, all right, that's fine. You pulled out a tough player early, and you sniped one of our players. Polt is really good at TVP. He attacked, he did a good build. Things got a little bit unlucky for us because he spotted the third base early on, and that's fine because now we can pull somebody out to get rid of Polt. And if they can snipe Polt, they'll be in a good position.
And against a Terran player, who do you use? With all these maps still available, you can definitely, for example, send out a Zerg player. There are 3 really tough Zerg players that we have in the lineup for Team MVP. Monster, DRG, and Sniper.
Yeah. I don't think at this moment you send out someone like Keen.
Yeah,
it's not the time yet.
Not really for a TVT. And if you talk about the Zerg players, I don't feel that we are going to see Monster today because they are just players that are stronger than him, and in the semi-final don't want to take any chances.
Unless he's been doing some sort of crazy practice we don't know about.
Yeah. And do you really send out Sniper now? He's the guy, he's the Zerg player that does so well in the team. We might actually, well, whoever it's going to be revealed right now, and it is, it is Monster. I'm surprised.
That's really interesting that we thought that it would be not him.
Yeah,
you know,
for the reason that I just mentioned.
DRG seemed like a good choice for some reasons, but you want to save him until later normally. But the thing is, Dongreiku has really struggled to come out as the last player because he gets emotional, he gets stressed out, whereas some of these other players like Sniper just do not seem to feel the pressure. Monster, though, I don't know how well he's going to do. He must be doing some sort of secret practice. To put him out against Polt is a risky choice.
I don't like this choice for a few reasons. You have 4 players left at this stage of the game. You want to use Keen, that's inevitable. I feel that you want to use Tails because he's a sniper. He definitely prepared for one of these opponents in particular. That's at least how I feel about it. You have to use Sniper because it's your best Zerg out there. This is already 3 players, so then you have to decide: are you going to use, for example, a player like DRG as well, or are you going to use Monster? So you have 1 player left, and going for Monster here, he might win against Polt, but is he a player who can win the second game too?
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure. He's a good Zerg player, but if you compare him to the other 2 on the lineup, I feel that he's...
I mean, can he even beat Polt?
Yeah.
That's the first question you got to ask yourself, of course, as a coach. Can you beat the guy I'm sending you out against? Because nothing else matters if you can't do that.
You know, if it's only about this game, I feel like sending out Monster is absolutely fine. But this is a team match, so in the team match you need to have more than 1 win, and I don't think that Monster is really the player to carry a team. He might surprise us all here, might surprise me and now take 2 or 3 wins. But at this point I feel that this choice, if you just think about the alternatives that Team MVP has, is a little bit weird.
He must be prepared for this moment. The map choice is Whirlwind. Very big map. Polt's win rate still looking a little bit shaky, as we mentioned before. And on the map for Monster, he hasn't played a single recorded game. He's only played 6, or he has 6 wins and 6 losses, 50% win ratio, 12 games played in total, but none on Whirlwind, it seems. And this is a good map for Zerg versus Terran, but Polt is not an easy opponent.
Yeah, definitely. He's a very strong bio player.
He does not play mech often, actually not really at all, and he doesn't really do it on, I mean, on a map like this, bio doesn't do as well as mech does, I feel personally, and so that may be another reason why they've chosen him here.
Polt stated so often that he really loves bio and that he's not confident in playing mech, so I don't think that he's going to change things up this time. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But yeah, for me, it's more the story if Monster cannot only win this game, but it's also about the next one. MVP needs a player who can take a few maps of his opponent's team. But well, we're gonna find out what happens between Polt and Monster. The game is about to start here. The GSTL, TSL up again.